We're going to go ahead and do a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, to see what is going on. Today we have Mercury in Libra, which is square Jupiter in Cancer, and this is bringing a powerful energy for twin flames, but also for the collective. You might be feeling like you're pulled in two directions right now between what's going on in your head and what you're feeling intuitively, and even your past and your future, but this gives us a chance to bring a healing to these areas. You're being asked to really think on what stories you're still playing out, or what stories we're playing out collectively, and if they're based on old emotional wounds and need to be healed a little bit more. Squares can bring a challenging energy, however, it can highlight areas that we need to heal and even transmute a little bit more. Now, when we deal with Cancer, it is always amazing for helping us to heal ancestral and even family programs or even imprints that may be coming up today. Many of you are even playing out old karmic, I'll say, narratives or even imprints that may not even belong to you. Sometimes you might be playing out imprints that you picked up from your family line, like your parents, or even farther back. And these things are kind of coming up for release if they're still affecting you. Now, with healing, you're going to, of course, know best what you need to be working on or healing within yourself. However, just to give you a little bit of insight, if you're still playing out old patterns, stories, narratives not serving you, if you're seeing repeating cycles or lessons or things coming up again that reflect your past or things you've already been through, can give you a lot of insight into what you need to continue to still heal. So we're going to start with a reading for the divine feminine, just to see what's going on. Remember, this is just a general reading, so make sure if you need a one-on-one session, of course, you always book it on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. I am an energy healer. I have a ton of healings, clearings, and activations on my website, which will really help you. I also have twin flame readings and twin flame coaching to help you through the process. I've designed those sessions to really help you no matter where you're at on the journey. So if you're needing me, just go ahead and book me on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. So let's get into it for the divine feminine side of things. Divine feminine collective, directly for the divine feminine side of things, okay? But divine masculine, if you're watching, take this as direct messages from your divine feminine. I still feel your energy around me. I never believed in these things until now I do. Okay, with twin flame, you're gonna feel them around you a lot. Like on the energy level, this is a higher spiritual connection. Now, of course, we have different dimensions that play out at once simultaneously, and this is a very spiritual connection. We're being guided during our time to really merge the spiritual down into the physical. So this is a very energetic connection as well too. And you're going to be feeling this person and feeling this person's energy a little bit more than obviously I say the average connection, than the average connection. So when they're thinking about you, you're probably going to sense it. You're going to feel it. You might be able to tell things that they are thinking about you. You're going to be able to pick up on messages via downloads, tapping in things that you feel or things that kind of come through to you too. So you're definitely sensing this person's energy. And even if you're around them, sensing things going on within them, within their lessons, within their energy. Both of you guys always get a good view generally of what's going on with the other as you're navigating the process. Doesn't even matter what stage of the journey that you're on or in. I let my ego get in the way. I couldn't let go of my pride, but you saw through me. You know the truth about me. Okay, so this is like, and a lot of people don't like this. I always say, we're learning ego lessons and to work on our ego while we're here, and especially on the twin flame journey. So this might have been something that reared up. Okay, now this fits perfectly with today's energies, as these energies are highlighting ways that you are not fully expanding into your full potential. So basically, any way that you're letting fear hinder your progress or hold you back, this might be highlighted today. And the good news, you're meant to see it so you can kind of work through it or work on it too. So if you have old fears that have been triggered by this connection specifically, as this is a twin flame reading, pay attention to these areas. Twin flame, yes, does reflect the work back to you, hopefully, that you'll see just on your own that you need to work on within yourself to be a better person, to be a more balanced person, to be a more whole person. So they can, through the mirroring effect of learning with this person, obviously they act as your mirror, they're going to show you or teach you things about yourself. Oftentimes they can reflect back areas that you need to continue to heal within yourself, but this is meant to be a good thing. Your twin flame, in serving that role for you, is meant to help you to strip away the illusions, the old, because we have this illusion energy, the illusions, the old energies, the imprints. They can really shine a light on these things if they're in your system, because twin flame union requires to be at this pure level of frequency. So oftentimes there's a lot of work that is done, up to you how much work that you want to do on yourself, right? But there's a lot of motivation to be working on yourself and working on your healing. They can act as a mirror. Now, sometimes that can feel very uncomfortable, as they might be shining a light on areas that still need healed, could be a little sore, old wounds, whatever it is that sometimes can get triggered, I always say unintentionally, or maybe even unaware by them, in the process for the divine feminine. We were too different. That's why I'm with someone similar to me. Now, this isn't for everyone, but some of you guys might be navigating situations like that, so I'm not going to go too into this message because you know it if you are, okay? Now, there's two groups of twin flames. One group, the ones that have been thinking it and adding to it and like working on themselves. Like I always was reminding you, if you undo a pattern and a fear within yourself, it will go from the dynamic, or your twin flame will stop playing it out. Or some of you guys might be in such situations like that too, but that's always, usually everyone is different. So I always say, come to me if you need a session, but usually it goes to the root fear of things that it's been unknowingly manifested, because we don't want to manifest negative stuff for ourselves ever. However, the dual side of manifestation happening right now is, if we're thinking something negative, it can play out in our reality or in our field or in our life in some way. So the goal is to purge out and cleanse and clear a lot of the negativity that we might still be kind of dealing with. So if you're always thinking a certain thought about other people or yourself or your twin flame, chances are it can play out. And we don't want the negative stuff to be playing out too. So it requires kind of doing that inner work. We have a lot of healing, the ego healing, fear coming through, but this is meant to help you to clear the masks, the, we'll say, lack of vulnerability, the masks being closed off, illusions, how you're seeing things. It's meant to help you to strip away these things. Now, our ego doesn't do that easily. That's why I always say you might need someone to help you with this process, because if we've been creating some issues for ourselves, we stay stuck in it, okay? So our ego is usually our obstacle that we need to heal the most, but our ego loves to shut that down, like, right? To stop the process if possible, because we're talking about dismantling our very protection mechanisms, right? That make us feel safe. However, that's the illusion, right? Because we're not safe in these spaces. We're limiting ourselves and we need to open up to grow more. But sometimes the ego can be the biggest obstacle, that voice that you think is yours in your head, right? That can come up at times. And this is why it can be a big process that we need to work on healing the ego, okay? And what kind of goes on within our own thinking process. That's your programming. And we know our programming is faulty, and that we need to upgrade our programming, or dismantle it, upgrade it, right? Ascend to the 5D. It's a big part of it is to work through some of the old programming. So right now with these energies, we have a big focus on, and it doesn't surprise me because we just entered into welcome to October, ancestral and family programming no longer serving us, that we've picked up or, been born with or whatever. It's easier being with someone from my world. I did this card already, sorry. Okay, so some of you guys might be navigating third-party situations. Like I said, don't go there if it doesn't apply to you. This is just a general reading. These situations can act as a catalyst, and it depends on what side of the equation it's happening. If it has happened on one of the sides, we talked about both people playing a role in that. Okay, so the person not with the third party has probably created some of this. I know, right? the person with the third party playing out a karmic cycle, okay? If that applies to you. Okay, so we have balance. There needs to be a healthy balance of physical, emotional, and spiritual intimacy for a relationship to be sustainable. And that's why these are many different areas that you are learning to heal that factor into relationships. We have Mercury in Libra, so if you're feeling imbalances, unfair about the dynamic, it depends on what that might look like. Your needs aren't being met. You're not feeling great about things overall. These things are going to come up and you're going to feel them a little bit more deeply today. And we're also in Libra season, so we have a huge focus on healing our relationships so we can shift into healthy relationships and more balance and, healing any type of past relationship wounds. And these things are going to continue to come up through Libra season. Now, the point is to heal old wounds so you can get more balanced or, within the connection. And I mean this on obviously the overall connection, but on an energetic level too, okay? So these energies are amazing for helping you to heal your love life because we know Venus rules over Libra. It also rules over finances, but that's another topic, right? Okay, time to reach your goals. Everything you want from this connection will manifest in the near future. And I love this because it's not just goals that you're setting. These are manifesting goals, I hope, right? And when you set these little goals, things you want, things you desire, things you're trying to manifest, it helps to make them happen. And so, that's my worst nightmare, thinking people don't have any goals and just unconsciously kind of, going through. It's like setting your GPS for your life, right? You want to make these little stops along the way. This is what your goals are like. They're powerful. They bring things into fruition. They make sure that you're manifesting certain things or accomplishing certain things. So setting goals and, ticking them off your list as they happen is really, really an important part of manifestation work too. You're being guided to really, really think about your manifesting. October, the veil is really, really thin in a good way. Okay, the veil is thin all this month. We've, I think, technically entered into season of the witch, right? Which I'm all for, but in a positive way, right? We're able to tap into more. We're able to see more, sense more, pick up on more, get more downloads, get more dreams, get more insights. Things are coming to you. Allow them to. Now I'm going to try to stay on topic. This is a twin flame reading, and a lot of you guys are going to have, if you are gifted, okay, so for everyone, gifts activating next level. If you are gifted and have gifts, which I always believe everyone does, you just have to activate them. I'm like, hit me up for activations if you need them. So we activate our gifts and abilities. We can make them stronger by working with them, practicing with them, or doing activation work and things like that too. So as our gifts are activating this month, you're going to be picking up on a lot and getting a lot of messages about everything. But like I said, trying to stay on topic with the twin flame. So this is a lot of information coming to you fast. I had this happen the other day. Someone wasn't sure about a situation. Oh my God, we saw some signs. Make sure that you are asking for signs. If you need clarity, if you need direction, if you just want something to happen, you're trying to get things moving. I believe that you have to manifest everything here and that you have to get everything moving. And so those that just sit on anything, guess what? Maybe you see what you want, maybe not, okay? So I believe we set things into motion on the energy level, okay? And making things happen. So it's important that you are making things happen right now. One of the best ways that you can get things moving and to shift things on a positive level, and this is for everyone, whether you're feeling challenged and stuck in a separation stage and wanting reunion, you're in union, trust me, you want to keep going. Right? So if you want to get things moving in a positive way, in a positive direction, make sure that you're asking for more messages, more signs, more clarity. So signs right now, okay? Put yourself first. Loving yourself makes you more romantically attractive. So we like to think, this is for the women, right? Divine feminine side of things, that when we give our all to the, let's say, the person in our life, that, this is what makes them want you more. Sometimes you end up pushing away on the energy level your very desire. But the best thing that we've learned on the twin flame journey is to really, really attend to ourselves and to take care of yourself. These energies are intense on the planet during this time, and we're going to keep going. This is ascension. We're being bombarded with solar flares, cosmic energies, galactic energies that really amplify the astrological alignments. We're moving into frequencies that we've never been in on planet Earth during this time, right? Things are going to keep going. And they're going to keep elevating. The most important thing that you can be doing during this time is taking care of yourself. And Libra season, filling your own cup right now. When you are empty, you have no energy to give. That's depletion, right? When you are at a full cup, you are exciting to be around. You feel good. Now, unfortunately, sometimes we've learned to kind of keep going, run down and not feeling so great, but sometimes that's the worst state to be in. So twin flame teaches us, instead of giving all of our energy to our partner, which is very unhealthy dynamic, we need to take care of ourselves first and to really do things to fill our own cup. Now, everyone is different as to what that looks like, as to what excites you, moves you, all these things that can fill your cup. I always say things like energy healing is the best thing to do to refill our energy. Now, there are other things that we can do that obviously will cultivate joy, excitement, and to help us to recharge our energy. Make sure that you're doing all of these things. When you're amazing, and the word is alignment, and in alignment, your twin flame is going to be pulled to you or back together with you if you're not with them, like a magnet. Like they're going to just gravitate to you because that's the gravitational pull of energy between both of you too. So make sure that you're really taking care of yourself so you can better navigate your ascension. Now, one thing I've learned that really can bring a lot of positive energy into your life, and I see a lot of twin flames getting to this level, is working on your mission. And this is going to be something that's really going to make you feel good when you're ready for that. Because I feel we go through a big healing, like we go through a spiritual awakening, and we really have to heal ourselves fully to be able to handle that, okay? But just know that that's something that's going to make you feel really, really good when you're able to tap into that higher light worker stuff, okay? Okay, so these cards, you have a lot going on in your head. We've talked about the ego. Okay, you can't convince me from the work that I do daily that you don't need someone to help you through this process. And the reason being is because you sit with your thoughts all day long and try to think yourself out of them, right? But they are your thoughts going on in your head. So it helps you so much to get a mentor, get a healer, get a spiritual coach, someone that will help you through this process, that will see your blind spots. And I mean this in a very non-judgy way. See your blind spots, help you to shift out of them, help you to see your patterns, help you to shift out of them, see the things you need to heal, help you to heal them. So you have a lot going on in your head lately. We know that. It's like the old you, the 3D you versus the version of you. You're here in the middle. So we have the old self, where you are, and this 5D higher self that you're trying to shift into or continue to evolve into, okay? So there's a little bit of a tug of war going on in your head between some of your old wounds, past experiences, things you've been that have left you with some type of, obviously I call it trauma work, okay? That you've been through traumatic experiences that have left imprints that keep you holding back in fear. And I mean when it comes to love, this is a love relationship thing. This can apply to all areas of our life, but we're doing a love reading just to keep it straight, okay? So there's some type of inner work that you're still doing and needing to do. The work doesn't stop with it, I always say, with your thoughts. Now, if people knew that everything you were thinking, your twin flame was mirroring back to you and what they were doing with you, how they were acting, things they were thinking, things they were saying, between that shared connection, oh my God, you would be like, right? However, it's very hard work to go there, okay? This is why I love doing the work I do to help you guys out of certain patterns and things like that too, because they become very ingrained in our programming. So we have this, okay. But you're a stubborn person, okay? You are indigo starseed, you are some type of starseed, but this is my indigo starseed card. You got it, you're fine. You don't like that kind of stuff. That is why your ego needs it. And I love it because I've been seeing all the time. Okay, so it's like your training, right? Yes, your spirit guides might be kind of pushing you to go get initiated or to do some type of work with a spiritual teacher. I'm like, hey, I'm right here, right? But you're not going to like that. Your ego will not like that. That is exactly why we do this, right? So there is some kind of barrier. You are a beautiful indigo starseed, but just know that you're done with you're done with that stripping away, system busting, right? You've done enough of that in your life. You are here to build. You are here to grow. It's like you've already had to tear down all the false structures in your life and authority. And this could have been, starting in childhood and all of it. And you've been through a very long, hard path. You are in the let's blossom and bloom and grow your garden, which is your manifestation phase. Okay, so this reading is showing me you're ready to step out of fear. You're ready to become your higher self. You're ready to begin to listen to your higher self more. So the tug of war within you is your own ego thoughts and your higher self trying to send you downloads and things like that too. Just be mindful of that. You may still have some ego blocks blocking the messages from your higher self. You're opening up more though, being guided to open up more so that you can really, really manifest this stuff. Okay. Movements, choices, and decisions. And then I love this because it's like the many doors and paths and possibilities presenting themselves to you. And there's just so many paths that we can take, and I love it. And that's why I love doing this work with people to help them out of these stories they're in that they've been replaying and playing and playing. And I know, I love it. I love helping you manifest if you need it, just putting it out there. So if you're like kind of playing out some of these same stories, patterns, things happening, just to tell, look at what's going on. Specifically, this is a twin flame reading with your twin flame dynamic and the stories that are coming up or stories playing out with this person, because you have this is so much potential. You have other directions, other paths that you really, really can take. And yes, this is a love reading, so you have so many probabilities and possibilities. Some of these are closed doors. You've yet to open them yet. Okay, so you may want to open some new doors, some new paths. This is like new energy, new direction. Hey, what better place to be than October 1st? New month, new energy, right? We can use that momentum. So this is like you have so many options in front of you. You might think some of those doors are closed or locked. They are not, girlfriend. Right? Okay. So you got so many options in a good way. Some of you guys are really nostalgic and thinking about your twin flame a lot too. I always say, I don't think they leave your mind. I think it can be a lot to handle, this connection once you meet them with how it goes. So you're thinking about this person a ton, okay? In a nostalgic way. You might be replaying actual memories with them, whatever you have with it. So maybe the past couple of, we'll say, in these energies, you might be replaying a lot of how things went with this person. It's very reflective energy. I find that in spaces, especially of separation, you probably replay things that have happened. This is part of the process. Okay, so we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. This is a block here. Some of you guys are letting go of people, things, situations, and of course, my favorite, past issues. Now, this is something, some of you guys, I'm going to put it out here because this is what's coming through with this card. This is like a control freak card. Sometimes we work on certain issues within the twin flame dynamic of not being able to control things. And it depends on each person as to what lessons they're getting. Pay attention to what lessons you've been working on. Your twin flame is going to come in and they're going to help you work on the same issues you've been working on your whole life generally, if they're still there. And so just be mindful of that you might be working on letting go of control of the dynamic and allowing it to unfold. Now, I was telling someone this, and I'm going to give you this message, that give stuff a chance to manifest. Some of you guys are like, you put it out there, you put your intention out there, you put your thought out there, and then the ego, right? Allow things to have a moment to manifest. Rely on the manifestation work right now. It's like big message coming through. And so this might be, you're being guided to let go of things still, but make sure you're not doing it. Some people, okay, so we have like two ends of this spectrum. Some of you guys have a lot of negative energy around you still. Maybe you just woke up, you haven't done enough of the work, and you're being guided to look at your life and to purge out the negativity, okay? Things that are blocking your growth. Now, for some of you guys, you've been awake a really long time. You've been doing this work, and it's like, oh my God, there's no one left. Like, right? Okay. So, yes, you're being guided to continue to release things that are no longer serving you, but also staying open, not allowing that to isolate you, right? And to also let the right people in, right? The right connections in, we'll say too. So this could go for your twin flame. Maybe you're a person who pushes love away or push this person away a lot, or you know, with the thoughts and things like that, sometimes we don't realize. We're like, sometimes the thoughts can have a negative charge. So every thought that you have in your head, we're talking about thinking about your twin flame, it's going to have a negative charge. You're thinking negatively about them, or you're thinking positively about them. I have found people that are processing and they're having a lot of negative stuff come up. Twin flame usually disappears. It's different for everyone, okay? They go in and out of your life, right? They tend to disappear. Thinking real positive about them, if they're gone, they reappear, or they're going to be around. So thoughts also carry a charge and an energy too. Sometimes it depends, and we're needing to kind of do a little bit of work to think about what we're thinking about all day. Okay, so we have the Hermit. This is once again in reverse, and this is a little bit of you've been withdrawing a little too much, which is, I mean, I'm really excited to go into my cocoon for season. Not yet. I'm already there. Okay, sometimes we cocoon, and it's like, you know, bird in the nest. It's like, you know, caterpillar going in the cocoon. But for this person, okay, and this is like, you could just be an empath. Like, obviously, I think twin flames are, okay? Or going through the awakening process, going through an ascension process. But if you're someone that's been withdrawing a little too much, this might be a problem. Now, my Hermit is my favorite energy. It's spiritual awakening energy, but maybe you've been hermiting a little too hard, right? And you're needing to get back to living life. And this is what twin flame is meant to teach us. But I find a lot of people, like, you meet your twin flame and it's like your life changes immensely, okay? You turn inwards, especially the more they're not around. You turn inwards, you go within, you tend to your inner world, which is what we're meant to be doing. However, some of you guys need to shift out of it. Maybe this is your little reminder that you need to live life, you need to enjoy life, and to live life to the fullest, or to let the right connections into your life if you're needing it. Okay, so we have the Six of Swords, and I love this card and it's with the High Priestess, which is a really nice card for the journey. And this is my spiritual journey kind of card too. Now, with the Six of Swords, he's injured. The higher self is, I always say it's the higher self, but it's kind of rowing him along. So this is like old wounds and overcoming something really hard that you've been through. Now, this is the twin flame journey then, because this is a twin flame reading. You're still releasing baggage. You're still healing from things. You're in a period of intense healing still right now, okay? So make sure that you're focusing on this period of healing that you're in. There's still some old wounds that are coming up. And trusting your higher self, we've been having that come through a lot in this reading, trusting your higher self to help you through this journey, but also healing, okay? Healing these old wounds that might be coming up or blocking your own life or the connection. Okay, so we have the High Priestess card, and I love this because this is, once again, we started the video with trusting your intuition over your head, right? So you might feel a little bit pulled in both directions. You got these thoughts, but you're feeling one thing, right? You're feeling another thing. You need to trust your intuition and fine tune it. Trust your instincts. You don't always know why you're knowing things or why you're picking up on things, but trust how you feel. And this is why it's important that we're clearing our solar plexus so that we can really, really not be feeling old energies and old trauma, but feeling our way intuitively through life. And I love this because these cards are coming as a package deal together. You heal, you turn into the High Priestess. Yeah. I know, and activate those gifts, and that's very, very powerful. So pay attention to your psychic dreams, the higher downloads, dimensions, and everything kind of coming with that card. So this is like continuing through your healing journey. You have more gifts that are coming online and activating that haven't even activated yet. You have more to tap into. And this is like all, I was saying, gifts of like prophecy, dreams, seeing things before they happen, picking up on things, very intuitive, divine feminine gifts too. So to continue working on yourself and your healing journey from these cards, it looks like you've been kind of a little bit withdrawn and working on yourself because of the twin flame journey, but you're needing to heal some type of old wounds between you and, well, with yourself, but also between you and your twin flame, okay? You have some old stuff that is coming up from this connection, okay? They're still, I would say they play out in your field. They're still in your field. We had a little chat earlier about how you can kind of tell what's still in your field. Okay, we're going to do Divine Masculine reading, Divine Masculine side of things. Let's see what's going on for you. Okay, so let's do a reading for the Divine Masculine. Okay, divine feminine, if you're watching, direct messages from your divine masculine reading. I'm in love with you and I'm ready to take action. I want to build a beautiful life with you. They think about the divine masculine, the life they want. Even if they are feeling a little stuck in limbo at this place now, they want a different life with their divine feminine ultimately. They have goals and they want to be with this person. They spend a lot of time thinking about what that would look like, the future they want, and the future they want this person with the divine feminine, okay? So you have it in your head. You might have spent a lot of time planning it out, thinking about it, and you know where you want to be in life, but there is this gap in this for this divine masculine watching between where you're at now, where you want to be with your divine feminine, okay? That gap is the healing, by the way. The healing and the manifesting. Okay, our love was too intense for me to handle. I needed a break away. And this is why. Now, not all twin flames go through this. Now, I always think separation indicates issues that need to be resolved. They do. It does. But sometimes it can be a stage in the journey, but a lot of people actually get stuck in it and then normalize it. You shouldn't stay there, right? I know I've known many that have gone through many separations because the issues come up. They need to be resolved. That's one thing that pushes, as we use the word push, pushes twin flame energy apart and into separation. It isn't the universe, it's actually the twin flames energy between each other. So sometimes it can indicate that issues need to be worked out. Now, that could be in the beginning and working towards union. It could be in union and being pushed apart. It just kind of depends. So just use that space, if in it, to work through issues. Okay, now I'm going to keep this card. It was upside down, so we're going to take it as a block. Being apart has been more difficult than I can accept. So there might be a block here if you've been spending time apart. Now, that can be normal part, right? Okay. Maybe you're in union and it's really hard to be away from this person and it's making you face some shadow stuff. Maybe you're in a preparation space working towards union, or you've been in a separation. It is very, very hard for this person to be without their divine feminine or without their energy in some type of way. This might be something that they're having to work on, that they need to raise their own frequency, or they need to work through certain issues within themselves. It's always your own work that you have to do, okay? Even though we love to project to the mirror, right? But yeah, okay. So for this person, if that resonates, I always say just take what resonates for your specific situation. Why I encourage you guys to do the one-on-one calls. But if this resonates for your situation, working on your own stuff a little bit more. We have baggage coming up, old baggage, and this is for everyone, not just everyone in the twin flame path, but this is a twin flame reading, working on whatever baggage is still affecting you. I kept up a facade to the world, but you always saw past that into my soul. So this is like, maybe it could be Mr. Play It Cool, I'm unbothered, and the divine feminine can tell. I can read vibes, right? Okay, it could just be the ego. And, you know, I was talking about ego is just your false self. It's you believe yourself to be this person and you're not. And awakening takes us past that person and strips away the false, I call them illusions, right? Illusions, things that we believe about ourselves that are in fact untrue, ways we see ourselves, and things like that that need to go, right? I say shatter the illusions. And it's like little by little, level by level, we strip away all of these things. So this is like letting go of ways that you're seeing yourself that are just not true. And sometimes these are literally from your past or things you've been through, projections from other people you picked up. It just kind of depends. Okay, so I'm just trying to sort these. You have, once again, letting go. Now, this is something that's probably going to go with this attachment energy later, but we'll get there. And once again, I'm going to keep this as a block. If someone leaves you confused more than comforted, you need to reassess their access to you. Now, with this, maybe for this divine masculine, you've been fast to let go of this connection, or your divine feminine might have been fast to push you away. It just kind of depends. Maybe one of you is kind of in that push energy, right? Which can kind of kick off different cycles. There's something going on here. We're going to explore this a little bit more. So we have the boundaries. And once again, a couple of these cards are, you know, in that blocked position. You need to teach people how to treat you by being clear on what you will or won't allow. Maybe you're needing to set boundaries yourself, or maybe your divine feminine is working on that lesson. Both twin flames are generally working together on certain lessons, but they have their own soul lessons that they're working on. So you're this person, divine masculine, you setting healthy boundaries is going to help obviously you and your energy, but it's also going to help your divine feminine. So maybe you might be learning how to set boundaries, or you're really good at it and you're teaching your divine feminine how to do the same for their energy. Okay, there's something around boundaries coming up. Maybe, you know, this one of you probably best know, one of you might be a little enmeshed in your partnerships and they turn out a little unhealthy because of that. When we don't have any boundaries, oftentimes it can drain us and we can turn resentful about it, right? Or things like that. Healthy boundaries help us to also maintain our energy outside of connection and of course inside of connection. We have love your shadow. This is coming up big time too as a block. There's some type of block with your shadow work. Accept and work with the flaws in yourself so you can learn to accept others as they are. And so there's something here. You have more shadow work to do. Your divine feminine and the connection might be stirring it up and helping you to see it better, or you just know that you're being guided to do higher level of work too. So there's something kind of being stirred up. It could be old wounds, old shadows. So you're needing to really focus on the shadow work being done right now. This masculine is in that phase. Maybe you already know that you're kind of going through that cycle right now. Stay positive and optimistic. Positive thinking and faith will bring romance into your life. Okay, so you're being guided to get in alignment and to remove any blocks or anything cutting you off from your energetic flow, okay? There are blocks being removed so that you can release these things. This is why I love energy work, because we're never going to be able to think our way out of energy blocks. Energy clearing, you're going to need it on the twin flame journey. So if there's blocks coming up on the energy level, oftentimes these are the things that can trigger or repel our twin flame. Look at every trigger wound as something going on there, okay? You're being guided to really manifest and cultivate the life that you want, the energy you want, and the abundance that goes with it too. I love this. So this is an amazing time for what you're manifesting and what you're trying to bring through. But things are moving really, really fast for you. You're going to be very successful in this union, what you're doing. But things are moving fast. You might feel like you're spinning, right? It's like time is kind of going really, really fast right now. I was saying that beginning of the year felt really slow. Suddenly it's like the year's going to go really, really fast. So it's like, okay, your lessons are coming fast at you. Maybe you're handling more and more. And it's like, well, you're done with one thing and something new is hitting you. And it's like everything is kind of coming up at once for you. It's like old wounds, the ascension, this connection, things in your real life. It's like stuff is hitting you, okay? Like literally. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords. This is going to represent your divine feminine. She kind of tells it how it is, okay? She's got no problem. This is the truth being revealed, but it's also for you. You're needing to release low vibrational energy. You're still clearing things from your energy field. You're being guided to really cut your cords, clear attachments. We have this attachment energy. You're being guided to cut your cords, clear attachments, and continue to clean up your energy. And this is pain from your past that you didn't heal and you just shoved in and suppressed, okay? You went through trauma. You weren't able to deal with it then. You were living on survival mode. You were living in fear. You were living in trauma. You have things within your energy field from the past that you thought, okay, I moved through that. No, you didn't resolve them on the energy level. So there's some stuff kind of coming up. Your divine feminine can see this in your field and might even be mentioning it or bringing it up. It just kind of depends on how it's playing out. So you're being guided to resolve some past energies in your life. Okay, and I love this card for twin flames. You have the Three of Pentacles, and this is like working together. And I love this. You guys are actually working together. Do you know why we learn with certain people? We get matched up to learn to work on similar lessons. Okay, believe it or not, I know you're the yin to the yang. So you're working through certain lessons, and I mean together. You got your solo stuff going on. We've established that. But you're also here to work through certain challenges, obstacles, and lessons together. Teamwork, right? And it's like, I always joke around, like it's like if I give you a puzzle and you're on a deserted island and you have X amount of time, 15 minutes to go find the puzzle pieces and put them together, right? Oh my God, like one of those game shows. That's exactly what it's like on Earth, right? You're having to work together to bring you each have a piece to the puzzle. You're needing to work together to put it together, so to speak, right? So there are certain lessons that you and your twin flame are working on together. Pay attention to what's being triggered by the connection. This will give you great insight as to what you are healing, because you're healing something together. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. You're being impatient. This is like things might be not unfolding as fast as you would like. Oh my God, this is the twin flame process. You might not be familiar with the process and you're in it now, like in the middle of it as it's unfolding. And this is like, okay, some of you guys have been focused a little bit too much on the material, and now you're being guided to shift into the spiritual focus big time. Like you might think, you know, you did amazing in the material, but you're unfulfilled in some way. And I see that a lot. Like if you are really amazing at the matrix and you did it, it's a game, right? You did it amazing. A lot of people are left kind of spiritually malnourished and not doing great spiritually, or just not feeling great from it too, because that's what we need. We're spiritual beings and we need to fulfill ourselves spiritually as well too. So this could be some type of plot shift, just changing your direction in life, suddenly really gravitating towards the spiritual. But your twin flame is probably the divine feminine, the catalyst that is getting you to focus on that. The twin flame connection overall is powerful in your awakening right now and helping you to learn about the spiritual. And this is why we have to learn about energy, how to take care of our energy and things like this. Right? So you're being guided to study the spiritual, and a lot goes with it. Like I was thinking, you know, people that don't have a good gauge on the spiritual, they can't be doing real great right now, because we have a lot of spiritual stuff that we face, and we have to really learn how to take care of our energy and, you know, things like that too. So just know that. Okay, we have the Devil. This is my attachment card. Some of you are trapped or tied to something, someone. This could be addictions, obsessions, and indulgence, codependency, feeling powerless, and materialism. Check your cords right now. And this is your connection. Some of you guys have not fully shifted out of the old, and that's okay, because you can't let go of people, situations, or things from your past fully. And they're still anchored to you and keeping you kind of feeling stuck or powerless. And that's another sign that we need to let go of situations, especially when you feel you just can't or can't move or can't do much, right? So there's something you need to resolve on that level. And this is my energy attachment kind of level. I was trying to have a talk with someone the other day about clearing attachments. And unless you have, you might have some going on. So this is stuff on the energy level. I'm getting deja vu. Like I just had this card not that long ago. Some of the divine masculines have things that you thought you cleared or moved through coming up in your field again. This is literal addictions to things that are not good for you. Some people it's substances, some people it's sexual, you know, people, whatever it is that are getting in the way of union. Sometimes it's just focusing too much on money and the material, anything zapping your energy and your power, giving your energy away to things outside of the connection, or people or dynamics outside of the connection. Karmics are an amazing example of this, because they zap your power and your energy, and you'll be holding on because you feel so bad for that person, right? Or whatever it is, right? When in reality, they're destroying you. So this is toxic connections outside of the union can be a really good example of this. Like, and this isn't for everyone, but like third-party situations. Or maybe it's none of those things, and that you have old fears, things going on in your head, and things coming up in your field that you're kind of needing to clear and purge out and heal more. So it could be something you're thinking about, something you're focusing on, you know, other things that you know are not good for you. Like we could say other pathways, other timelines that just aren't great for you, or just things going on within your energy field too. Because I love this. This is my favorite. This is the Lovers card, but they are chained up together. And actually, they can just undo themselves anytime, by the way. Those are optional, right? But there's these spiritual forces that we need to learn how to take care of ourselves, I said, because there's spiritual forces too. So this could be, you know, some type of, I'll call it my addiction card, some type of karmic addiction card or attachment card that might be throwing off the union too with both people, because when you're in union, it affects both of you and things like that too. So for divine masculine, just doing a good energy clearing recommendation right now based on these cards, and kind of clearing whatever's going on within yourself or within your field. Okay, I'm going on that note, but have a beautiful day. If you guys need me, you know where to find me. sparksofdivinelighealing.com. Have tons of amazing stuff up there. I put up some stuff up there the past couple of days. You can always do anything in my shop all of the time anyways. It's all really, really going to help you. Have a beautiful day.